Hi everyone, it's Jen from Mind's Eye. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get started. A look into the unknown, the second medium reading about obscurities. So let me just get myself settled like always. I always gotta fix my hair, fix my headbands, and get it right. But basically, when I say get it right, R-I-T-E, witchcraft comes into mind today. Hard, more on what they call a state in rue of run. RUE, rue of a run, RUN, which makes, I don't know why in witchcraft it's going WRUN, but I actually can't do like a lot of things like the way that it used to be. So for some reason, when this happens, you have to literally like say and just wonder where it is. So when this happens, you go, what's going on? So there's something about spiderweb and spiderweb effect. Spiderweb effect in witchcraft actually goes to where it like has this whole out like run, and when it goes like run, it goes to starfish, and it goes to like containment to contentment. So let's actually go back. So you see how like it backed off with like obscurities? Like you're really not supposed to know anything. You're not supposed to say no to it. You're not supposed to like knock it out. You're not supposed to like KNOW. Like you're supposed to go with it and you're supposed to accept it. So how does someone actually go through it? Because I mean it was right there. It literally was. So this is for like the next week. So catching up and like linking it as it has to do with like three animals and it has to do with a car. So as I'm looking at Trump Tour's Ford plant in Michigan, something is going to be revealed that wasn't supposed to be there. Now, when I see this and I see dragon and starface, it really is old water magic, like sea time, maritime magic. And when I see moth, it's something about blended through. When I see this and I see hummingbird and I see bat, I go, there's something again about containment issue. About containment issue. When I see otter, everything is a fix. It's not actually a remedy for what is coming through. So when I say, when I hear elephant, I'm going back to something like I just saw like for me like the news cut out, it came back on. So we have blue screen. Blue screen when they cut out on like streaming or anything like that means like there's something of like a containment known. And so when they like again blue I went to blue screen means something is done like DONE. Like you can't even like watch too much of what the president is doing right now up in board. So when I see beaver, this is something of an old time rule of a law down to horse again. So when I look at it and I say it really is hard, like really hard, lion is this mastering strength. Like let's try to like what do we need to know? Here it is. This one jumped right out. Again, it wants to talk about the moth. So let's look and we'll talk about the moth. The energy of this shuffle is unicorn. It's like foreknown, foreknown, foreknown. It actually is something pretty heinous. Foreknown, Noan, um, KNOW, foreknown, foreknown. So what does it mean to be known? NOAN means something of a visual disturbance that happened to somebody against their consent. NOWN means a type of curse to a curse out upon and within them, to where it was known. and consequences if it had happened to an individual. So when you look at the rule of three, when it comes down to Wicca, and it goes down to you can't actually like see like what's going on. I'm seeing a couple of news anchors like in their own way. The way they're enunciating is they're really angry, really bad right now on what's going on. They can't believe this happened. So when I see this and I go, the Knight of Wands in reverse to this. So when someone has that, and it usually is like a type of head injury, they're going about, from what I've experienced, is like you're going to the store, you're going to a gas station, and you're just there, and you wake up and you're like, I was sick, and then all of a sudden I just didn't see right, and I was seeing stars, and I bumped my head, and it's one of those things, and all of a sudden I can like do these things. And I go, what can you actually do about it? And then they talk strange, they don't make sense, they seem counterintuitive, but when it all like comes out, like it's kind of hard to explain, especially when you don't have like a. For me as a like an LPN on neurological, I'd be watching their eyes, I'd be watching their nose if like they had a runny nose, I'd be watching their ears, all those signs that we'd say for a head injury, for like strange coughing or signs that they have shown like in cursing, coughing, urinary incontinence, bowel issues. Now I'm not saying that it's not for everyone or like it really all is because you do have to manage the symptoms. So that is where it goes. Is this a witch hunt? Like to a degree. So when I look at it and I see the Six of Swords in reverse, it's like a hard move on, and it's not turbulent in force because we have enough laws all the way legislature and bill, but it is a mystery. And it's a mystery per se because of victim protocols. I feel like something actually heinous happened that they're trying to draw this out hard. When I see it, I see the Knight of Cups. It's an emotional offering that you can't actually believe to sit well and rest. But I feel that the American public to multiple countries, they experience these odd like behaviors and disturbances. So as we look it down and we lock it up, we see there's something strong. I'm just asking in mediumship, like show us and calm it down a little bit. Knight of Cups and Ring a Ding a Ling, and Ting and Ming and Sing, all four known, like foresight. They're saying four known, 1620. When I see this and I see the Three of Pentacles in reverse, I say this has to do with some really nasty like detriment of no teamwork. You can see it in the public in many working places where some people are just not team members, to where they work alone. And when you see this as not fulfilled wishes, especially when you're working in a company or anything like that, but there's something unsecure when that happens on the flow of productivity. When you see this and you see the Eight of Swords, it's a deceitful hostage like, and like look-ins, like audits, like odd things. I don't know why I'm saying that. Like go for it, just go for it. Like literally. I don't know who needs to hear that today. The Seven of Wands looks at this and says, I think the Seven of Wands is, this taxing difficulty. It completes out, but it's happened before. And sometimes you just have to trust the burden ahead. So when you actually start cutting away and doing like your spiritual work, when you sit and you ground in reality and you have your candles and you have your magic and you're doing a cord cutting and you're cutting away and you're trying to reground in reality, those severed ties and bonds and tethers from might be centuries could actually like upkick and uptick. So when you actually have to like carefully like match out prudency, you have to say like everything is, and a lot of things are like in line. Like most people like can't even get it out. There's something of like a massive cut that happened, I see, in the American government to the French government as a psychic that comes out full known, where you're seeing stars in your eyes and like, what were you doing over the last 40 years? So when you see it and you see this, that was reckless on what you did. When you see this, you see the Three of Wands in reverse. You can't actually. So when you see seashell and sea star, it matches. It literally matches. Why does it match to my situation? You have to sit and meditate with it. Sit and meditate with it. Like foregone. Foregone. There's something about four. When I look at this and I see the Four of Wands to Nine of Cups to when cards come out, even when I'm not like pulling out of the card deck, that means it has to be known. So Four of Wands has to be known. It has to be about a get together. It has to be about something that was like really nasty. When I see this and I see the Six of Wands, I'm doing this. I'm like, oh my God, this is like really, really nasty. Like you can't even foresee what actually happens to what happened. So that's a hindsight is 2020. There we go. We're back on track. That's what I've been trying to get out. Like hindsight is 2020. Knight of Wands goes, it is a put out and it is a snuff out, but it's a tax out. So let's look at like what is obscured about these tax brackets. All right, Minnesota and Illinois sued Department of Homeland Security over federal agents' deployment. It's not illegal. Yeah, contrary to belief, federal agents can deploy for 30 days. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So, but they are allowed to sue. They're allowed to put it in court to see where it lands. All right, confirmed. Everything is a tax revenue. Confirmed. Everything is like L. Confirm. It is like masculine energy, like mass as feminine energy. You can't even believe it today how well this worked out. So again, you see this, and I'm laughing because the universe likes to make and poke fun at certain situations. So I'm laughing at this, and I'm like, yeah, it's a change up. And I'm not trying to ding on what's going on in the Supreme Court down in D.C. about transgenderism. But when they're saying it's quite the change up, it's really disgusting. You can't even see it. So that is what's been obscured. Is like it was like a jurisdiction issue that came on through. How did politics get into here today? Three of Pentacles in reverse. Again, not on the same page, working together. But when it comes to legal and issues at hand, when you present it in the court, is it face value or does it fit the bill? So when it comes to obscurity, a lot of times there is a working of energy work that looks grandiose. When I see this and I see the death card, it's sharp endings up to untimely death. So then malpractice and other suits can happen. When I see the Three of Wands again, I see it's not on the horizon. It's not a plane. It is like an X out, like tic-tac-toe. Child's play. It's like child's play. When I see this and I see, the magician, like there's a trickery. There's a type of trickery. There we go. Let's look at the Akashic Tarot. What do we need to know about the week ahead about obscurities? Okay, there's something already about agriculture. There's something about safe. Here we go. When you see this and you see the divine position, there's something about a physical. Somewhere in the universal collective, something comes out on a story about a physical. When I see this and I see the treasure and I see on track, something is off track to steal to the 9-inch nails. When I see it and I see like how it kind of like spans out, there's something that was born. There's something about money, about balance, about containment balance, like happy containment. Waterfall flowing through, like waterworks. When I see this and I see the summer and the winter in reverse, I have to say, like it was like when you see the fall, I'm seeing the paper on the ground with the obscurities, and I'm seeing about like red and yellow leaves in a September and an October. Something about 2019. In Crescent Moon, I see the Queen of Roses and the chess game. I had to say something about planting flowers, something about settlement, something about like known, something about it could have been. It's actually pretty heinous. There's like imbalance of energies that came through. When you see this in the War of Roses, it's not what you're thinking at like a face value. It's about not the rose garden, the argument there, or the ballroom. There isn't a continuance on about something. When I see this and I see the ascent, the climb up, like ascending, like measures climb, higher climb to base of pay. When I see the bird's nest in reverse, you can't actually take the bird nest down, but you can actually bring it down. When I see Archangel Raphael, I go, it's not like a gift or a give and take. So that's all this deck wants to talk about. It is written though. It was documented. I'm seeing like steno notes and stuff like that. Why am I seeing like 1956 and 1959? I'd have to say like something about McCarthy and Hoover. So let's talk about that. How did McCarthy and Hoover get in here today? What did those guys do that we need to know for the next week? Think about a plan ahead. A plan ahead. All right. When you see cauldron and you see spider, it is old working of works. Something about a 1089. When I see braid and cauldron, a child up to age 12. When you see this and you go dishonesty about what is actually working on here and through. So if you're just joining us and we're talking about McCarthy and Hoover about obscurities, and we got to plan ahead, like they did a plan ahead. Cauldron snail. So I see that the Hoover building is closing. I mean, it's about time. I mean, it's probably like not the best of condition at this time. There we go. When you see rebellion, when I see there's something about a love and a rebellion, I feel like what McCarthy and Hoover, what they were studying about the LGB, they won't even like Spirit won't let me say it. LG, you can probably get it out better. So that's usually in mediumship. Like they were studying it so hard that like there's knocks on the door and like what is it about your community that we need to know right now so you can have your voices heard. And it's about love, about how their energy of love is. So volcano is something about erupt, and we had it in the news today. We have in Hawaii an eruption over the last year. Something about identity, something about bees, something working together, endurance. I'd have to say all the rights violation of that community. Like you're really not supposed to know who. So eyes, and I am seeing like evil eye warding off when I see love, money, complacency, and status. Something about intelligence. Something about going on and going through it. Like you can't like what they pick up on like trends so hard that you can't even believe it. You can't even see it coming. So when I see the braid, you can literally look and see how they're already like selling feet pictures that make money. It's a trend. When I see a vision and I see creatures paw, like the way that their vision and their everything is, they sit and they go, no, no. I mean, I really could actually do it, but then it goes curse out. And when I do it done, like you can't even, there's something about their family also that's highly protective of them. Eel, I see trickery, I see cauldron, and teacup to tree. This is all roots. Like I'm seeing like them, and I'm seeing I'm like already into their trend. Like we don't say that anymore. So I was like, okay, so they don't see LGBTQ plus, but now we see them. They're one. They're one. That's all you need to know. So that is where that future obscurity is coming in. I see 29 years. It takes 29 years to actually settle down again with this type of coming out. Okay. All right. Lightning Boy in Fifth Dimensional. There's something about the psyche coming out. Again, it's going to be hard. Like you can sit and you can talk about it right now, but then you won't hear about it for like 2 to 9 years. So again, like quantum heart, quantum health, like regenerating, like quick, 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 quick. We're talking about the candle quick down to the burning out, to the snuffing out, and taking that old like way of like putting out a candle, put a cover on it, and the way the smoke burns out. And when you look at it and you go, excuse me, all four, you go, oh my gosh, there's something about galactic core. There's something about in the mind and the mind senses, like sinus senses. Something about like a planetary guardian. I say like a guardian angel, one that watches over constantly. When I see this, I see transmission, and I go, you can't even believe how hard it was to actually get it out. This one is really hard. Let's see like where this like cut is. There's something about the mind, body, and soul and the creativity, galactic core and creativity, that is going to come in full forward. People are going to feel it first when it says set your vibration, and it's going to tone it down a notch. Okay, let's look at the rooms. What do we need to know? Something at night, something about doing like a cut. So I'm doing this, so I'm going, this is my psychic premonition, like like cutting it out. Instinct, like they know it, they just know it. It bothers everyone. Like I'm still trying to lead up. Like where is this obscurity about like the divorce that shocks everyone? About anything else? What's new topic that kind of blends on through? Penguins. Why penguins? Can't even like see it. Let me see about the news again. Like everything is freezing up on me lately. I can't even really. I don't mean to be rude, but with that being said, there's something about it. Like I feel like we almost all got it out. There's something about. I would say look at the volcanic ash. We were talking about that like 1 to 2 weeks ago. Something about using in like use it in a spa. Something about renewal, like or like it comes on out. Something comes out and actually heals people, as we've studied. But why is it significant? Something about four. Something about four. When I see this and I see living, it would definitely do a snuff out. I'd have to say watch Hawaii. There's something about Hawaii in like a get together. Earth signs gifted again. Um like havoc, I'd have to say, yeah. Obscurities about the Federal Reserve, about the banking system. So I'd watch about the dong, I'd watch about any of the trends right now, but sit exactly where you intuitively and instinctively and as maybe as a psychic are sitting where you need to be. It will come in powerful, whatever the news is. When it comes in flow. I want to say about that volcano. It makes my mouth really sour. Mm, something about like a sour, like pucker, sour lollipop. Sitting in enjoyment and contentment that it happened. When you see this and you see wealth and you see they're very secure, saying it's very secure about wealth right now, even with the issues with the Federal Reserve or anything about that. Something is rolling out that will help the American public. We'll go back to the taxes, like something that's gone that we need to know about why the tax brackets are different. Um, something about a house, something about filaments, like actual, like when you do anatomy and physiology about filaments. Um, something about burning birch trees, something that's going to irritate the military, all militaries. Has to be about pay. Has to do about defense. Has to do about um, stroke of luck. I think Scotland, like that championship, something about stroke of luck, not here in America, that gave like a freeze to it about an instance. Now, it is a hidden game. It is a game. So we're looking at football right now. That's all the runes want to say right now. What do we need to know that's highly obscure from us? Something about us speaking out, but not protesting. You're allowed to protest. They're letting a lot of people do quite a bit of things. I'd have to say, it's really all the universal collective wants to say today. It really wants to tone it down a notch immediately. Like, immediately. All right, so let's calm it down. We'll do the Starseed Oracle, and then we'll do the Crystal Quartz. Okay. Inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within, Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, trust. Just, as toning it down with the obscurities reading, it is that you're well protected more than what you think. Again, just trust your intuition and your instinct. Like again, it's talking about just trust it. There's something about it's happening. Keep holding the vision. Something that's not like woven or anything like that. None of this matters. Zoom out. Common ground. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's something about everyone's on the same page. Devotion, potency, make your cycle live in prayer is about moving about and like making it known, but in a respectful way. And then light worker, star seed, serve the world by being you. I'd have to say, something about this, like a vision, like a double mission, like they do two jobs. When I see this energetic sovereignty, observing what is not yours, and you go, you have to literally, soul members and gifts, you've done this before. When I look at this, I say rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. I go, no, like literally longing for home. I'm looking at this. I'm like, somebody got punched in the lip. Something about the fight. There was something I picked up at least for my heritage, Ireland. It really goes like you shouldn't have been fighting over the weekend. Your boxing or your mixed martial arts at all because it's gonna snuff you out. It was the wrong time of day and the year to the time, but you had to contract and you had to do the fight. So when I see it and I see longing for home and homesick stars, I'm seeing like a going back. I'm seeing potential unconsciousness to light. There was something like new here that needed like an unveiling. So I'm going all the way right to October when the veil is thin, where when we talk about the veil is thin, that literally means like it's the clearest from universal energy where you can see it. Now, when I see multifaceted, unique nature and let yourself be seen, that's when everything seems to come out. So, lastly, with this, it says forge, don't follow, pave a new path, and be the leader you wish you had. So, as this is coming down for this psychic reading, it literally knows like just like pave your own path. Don't go off the beaten path of what is like off from you because that is when something gets known. So let's look at the crystal quartz and close out with that. All you need to know is foreknown, foreknown. It keeps coming out hard. So with that being said, that's all you need to know. Any questions or concerns, leave a like, a comment, a share. It's greatly appreciated, and we'll talk to you soon.